I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. It is a very busy night weather-wise, not here in Metro Atlanta, but out into the Midwest where they are having a major tornado outbreak there. For those of you who are watching us on 11 Alive Plus 24/7, you are watching some of the coverage from our sister station in Memphis. There are many other TV stations, and you can see those at the bottom of your screen as well, that we are also monitoring up in areas of St. Louis, also in Indiana, as well as in the Arkansas area. In Little Rock, you have the option to see those there at the bottom of your screen. Now, I'm going to focus on, number one, what's going on out into the Midwest tonight, whether or not that's even going to make it here to Atlanta. We're going to talk about the pollen count. But before we get started on that, I want to give you an update from our storms that we had on Monday. And as you know, we've been telling you over the past few days how the National Weather Service has been sending survey teams out to survey the damage, and they give us the results of those surveys as to whether or not the damage was by a tornado, and if so, how strong, or the rating of that tornado. Well, today we got a new update in. They were able to go out and assess the damage in Carroll County, and the National Weather Service has concluded that that was in fact a tornado, an EF0 with winds of about 75 miles an hour. Here is Carrollton here. This tornado was pretty much south of Carrollton near the Clem area. It had about a 5-mile track there that moved right along and just north of Whooping Creek Church Road. It went through Clem and then lifted right around Cypress Circle. So this is the 6th confirmed tornado in the state of Georgia, the 4th confirmed tornado in our area. We mentioned earlier we had the one that was in parts of Henry County. We also had Coweta County, Fayette County, and now this Carroll County, all confirmed tornadoes from the storms that went through on Monday. Now, the National Weather Service will be also talking with emergency managers around the area, and emergency managers will let them know if they need to come out and assess any additional damage. But as of right now, they're telling us they don't have any other plans unless they are told by emergency managers in other parts of the state or in our area to see if they need to come out and do any more of those surveys. Meanwhile, we are going to be watching those severe storms that are in the Midwest right now. It is going to be a prolonged area of storms, heavy rain, and potential flooding in the Midwest. And for us, we have high pressure protecting us from those storms moving in, even though we have storms just a few states away from us. And a lot of times we look at that and think, okay, in a day or so, we're going to get that rain, or we're going to get those storms. That is not the case in this situation, because the big area of high pressure is over us. And as those storms try to move east, they just can't move into that high. So it's just going to keep those storms out to the west of us. As we have the high pressure over us now, that is also going to contribute to us getting hotter. And we're talking about temperatures near 90 degrees for the end of the week, and possibly even breaking a record. So let's start first taking a look at satellite and radar. We do have a few clouds out there right now. We had a couple of showers. Remember yesterday we told you there would be a 20% chance for an isolated shower, and that most places would stay dry? Well, yes, most places did stay dry, but we had a couple of those showers around. We had one that developed a little bit earlier in parts of Morgan County. It pushed up through Oconee County and Athens. It even had a little bit of thunder and lightning with it near Morgan County earlier. But as that moved to the north of the Athens area, it all fell apart. You could see some of those lightning strikes up near Madison County and Oglethorpe County as well. Right now, though, any of that rain is gone. We had a couple other spotty showers up near Cherokee County at 575. They were very light, though, and very brief. But now this is what we're concentrating on. This is a severe weather outbreak in the Midwest. Just look at all of the red polygons that you see here. All of these red polygons that go all the way down into southern Arkansas, through Arkansas, eastern Arkansas, around Memphis. It has been very active around Memphis tonight with these storms that have been moving through there. Multiple tornado warnings there. And these warnings extend up into areas of western Kentucky, into southern Illinois, and that is going to be moving into parts of Indiana, where we have another tornado warning that is up to the north too. Tornado watches in effect well ahead of this line, and a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings along that as well. We have had confirmed reports of tornadoes in Memphis, some of the tornado warnings in parts of western Tennessee and coming out of eastern Arkansas were tagged as tornado emergencies there. So a very active night in those areas of the Midwest. And as I mentioned a moment ago, here we are here in Atlanta. We don't have anything going on here, but we're watching these storms out to the west. And a lot of times we would think they would move in. But as I mentioned, in this case, that is not going to happen as we have that big area of high pressure sitting on top of us. I want you to take a closer look at the severe weather threats that we're watching with the convective outlooks. And notice there over to the west of us near Memphis, where I just showed you those storms that have been moving through, that pinkish color is the level 5 of 5 risk. That is where we're seeing all those tornado warnings right now. This is a major outbreak just out to our west. Extending from that, there's the level 4 of 5 risk, then the 3, 2, 1. None of those risk areas even make it into Georgia. Remember yesterday we were telling you the Storm Prediction Center was trying to put a little bit of that into northwest Georgia, but we told you we weren't worried about it, and now they've taken it out. So we were never really worried about that moving into northwest Georgia anyway. But look at that area there that is seeing all of that severe weather here this evening and part of the overnight hours. Now, tomorrow, notice that the level 4 and 5 risk goes away. We don't think they'll be as intense tomorrow, but there's still a large area of a level 3 risk in the same spots that have already been seeing those storms for today. Now, remember, a lot of times we see these systems come from west to east, but watch what happens as I progress from Thursday to Friday. It doesn't really come toward us. We've got the high pressure over us. That's dominating our weather. So all of those storms are going to stay out to the west. Another level 3 risk on Friday for a big part of Arkansas, moving into western Tennessee, parts of Kentucky. And with that, it's not only a severe weather risk, but we have bands of heavy rain that have been moving through those areas. And after getting days and days of that, there's going to be a large flooding risk that extends through the Midwest up to around Louisville, Kentucky. They're going to see maybe 9-10 inches of rain there, and that could cause some issues with the rivers, creeks, streams, low-lying areas. So this is a big, impactful weather event for those areas just to the west of us. For us, the high pressure, as I mentioned, blocking those storms from moving in, but that high pressure is also enhancing our warm air and the ability for our atmosphere to heat up a lot more over the next few days. And we're talking about near record heat as we get into Friday. And in fact, Friday, I think we will break the record. So our rain chances tomorrow, we're not concerned about any, even though we're going to have some clouds around, a little more sunshine breaking through in the afternoon. On Friday, we're going to go with just a 20% chance for a shower. Friday's the day we think we're going to break a record. Saturday, getting up into the upper 80s again, but the record we think will stay just below that. And then on Sunday, that's when we're going to see our better chance for rain and maybe even some storms moving in as a cold front is going to be moving into our area. As of right now, the Storm Prediction Center does have us in a little bit of an outlook for the potential for severe. It's not a guarantee. We're not breaking down the impacts on that yet. The timing looks like it would be late afternoon into the evening possibly, but we'll be able to know more about that once that ridge breaks down and that system starts moving closer to us here. So again, showers, maybe some storms on Sunday, ending on Monday. Then after that system moves out of here, we're going to see some cooler air returning to our area into next week. So here's the timeline for what we're watching. And again, the next few days, we're going to be pretty quiet out there. We're just going to be dealing with that heat that's going to be building up. In the morning, we start off with a good coverage of clouds around, maybe just a few holes in those clouds every once in a while here. And then southerly flow in the afternoon on Thursday as those clouds break up just a little bit more, giving us more sunshine in the afternoon hours, helping us to get into the lower 80s. And then on Friday, still a few clouds around to start the day. Southerly flow continues here in the afternoon. Maybe an isolated shower. We're just going to go with a 20% chance for an isolated shower on Friday afternoon. But as you can see, it's just a couple of spotty showers here and there. Nothing that is widespread or really particularly heavy. And then on Saturday, still more southerly winds coming into our area, keeping us warm. We're talking about temperatures in the upper 80s once again, and we're not really concerned about any rain chances for Saturday. It's going to be, though, on Sunday when we see those chances for storms that are going to be moving back into our area. Now, there's a lot of stuff overlapping on here. What I want you to concentrate on is this yellow area here. That is the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center showing us where we do have a chance that some of those could turn severe. Again, we're going to fine tune that. Nothing to kind of freak out about or to be overly concerned about right now. Just know as you go through the weekend, and the end of the week and the weekend, while it is so hot here, just know that we're also going to be watching storms that will be pushing in, and we'll be breaking down more on the timing as well as those potential impacts once it gets closer to us. Now, here you see on Friday, we're dry. Saturday is dry. But look out to the west of us. You see those storms that are out to the west, still staying away from us on Saturday. Then on Sunday, here comes the system moving in here. It is this part of the system, especially later in the afternoon and evening, where we have that potential for some of these to turn strong. And again, a couple of those could turn severe too. Still not able to break down the exact types of any type of severe weather we could have, whether it's going to be just wind or heavy rain, thunder and lightning, or if tornadoes would be a possibility with that. We'll keep you posted on that. Going into Monday, we'll hold on to some lower rain chances early before everything moves away. And then behind that front, the wind is going to shift and we're going to see cooler air moving into our area, pushing into next week. We're talking about going from near 90 at the end of this week to highs in the mid 60s next week. So it is going to be a little cooler out there. In fact, we've got the warm air over us now. We made it up into the 80s today, generally lower 80s, low to mid in some spots. But then we're going to replace the warm air with this, the hot air that's going to be moving in. We'll be in the mid to upper 80s tomorrow, then upper 80s on Friday, upper 80s on Saturday. And then on Sunday, that's when we start to see the hotter air moving away. Still warm on Sunday, but just not as hot as it was. And the cooler air behind that front starting to replace that hotter air. And that's when we start moving down into the 60s. In fact, Monday's highs, we expect will be in the 60s here on for the first part of the week and even through the middle of the week. High temperatures will be holding in the 60s. So that is going to be much cooler compared to this. These are the records we're expecting potentially here on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Now, I do think on Thursday we'll be just below the record. The record is 87. We're forecasting a high of 86 on Thursday. Then on Friday, we're forecasting a high of 88. The record is 85. So Friday is the day we're feeling a little more confident in potentially breaking a record. And that a lot has to do with not only the temperatures going up, but the record on Friday is a little bit lower. Notice that on Saturday, the record is 89. We'll still be at 88, we think, on Saturday. But if we hit 88 and the record's 89, we'll be just shy of that record for your Saturday. And then temperatures start trending down a little bit on Sunday as that rain moves in. So here's a look at what we're watching on the 7-day outlook. You can see those temperatures that are going to be really warm here on Thursday, up to 86. But it gets even warmer with the partly cloudy skies during the day. And those temperatures are going to be warming up during the daytime hours as well. Then going into Friday, 20% chance for an isolated shower. High temperatures up to about 88 degrees. And that is the day we feel a little more comfortable that we are going to be hitting a record high. Saturday, 88, maybe just shy of the record, still with dry conditions out there. And then going into Sunday, that's the day we're going to be watching some showers from the west that'll be moving in with a cold front. And as that front moves through, up ahead of that front, we're going to see some showers. We're going to see some thunderstorms potentially developing. And there is a risk right now. Again, the Storm Prediction Center put us in an outlook for the potential that some of those could turn severe. But we'll be fine-tuning that over the next few days as we get more computer model data in here on how that's all going to come in. The timing of this, though, does bring it in the heat of the day. And that's why we could see some of those showers that might be a little bit stronger. A couple of lingering showers into early on Monday, maybe a couple of thunder showers with that too before everything pushes out. And then we see that big shift in the temperatures. Look at this, near 90 on Friday and Saturday. All right, Sunday down a little bit thanks to the rain. And then behind the front, this rain's going to move out. We're going to see a high of about 65 here on Monday, 63 Tuesday, 65 on Wednesday with some really chilly air returning. We'll also watch the morning temperatures as well, because it looks like Wednesday morning we'll be down to about 39 degrees. Yes, that is above freezing. However, we are expecting the possibility of some frost that could develop in some spots. So that's something that we'll have to watch very carefully. As you know, we've got a lot of springtime plants that have been coming in. Stay with us. We're going to have more throughout the next few days here with extended weather coverage right here on 11 Alive Plus.